has done everything well, and it was truth. But who were they talking about? Were they talking about St. Peter? Were they talking about St. John? Or St. James? Were they talking about Jesus? He done it all. Well, who? Jesus. We must never forget this, because very often they say, I don't go to church because priests have disappointed me, or the bishops or the pope. They are actually looking for an excuse. They don't go to church because what they hear in the church they don't like. It makes them uncomfortable. It makes their conscience awake and tells them things they don't want to hear. It tells them that some things they are doing are wrong and they shouldn't do them. Then the messenger has to be killed. And in this case, the message is the church. And how is the messenger killed? It is curious. The two bloody dictators, Hitler and Stalin, coincide in the same method to kill their opponents. What they did first was to denigrate them. If they found something they did wrong, of course, they already had their reasons, and enough they invented or imagined it. Only when that did not work, and the messenger, the opponent, to continue to insist and to continue to credibly, then they killed them. Well, they do the same with the church. They look for something that goes wrong, unfortunately, XX. But why do they look for it? For the same reason Stalin did, or Hitler, to put an end to a voice they don't want to hear. This is the truth. Blind all of those ridiculous, childless, or adolescents excuses. There is a truth. You don't want to hear Jesus' message. You don't want to listen to it. It is a message that gets in your way, that bothers you. You want to do whatever you want. You want to please your body permanently. And then you have to kill the messenger. And you say, I don't want to go to church because the priests are bad. I remember a very nice anecdote of our Mother Angelica. I have heard told another time, but it's really very good. On occasion someone said to her, I don't go to church because there are many hypocrites there. And she answered, well, come, there's always room for one more. Indeed, there will always be room for one more. Priests are very bad. Oh, how bad priests are. All of them. The missionaries, the nuns who are taking care with the most needy parishes priests. Sometimes it's a terrible situation with all kinds of difficulties. Everyone is very bad. You are very good. 8. You are. You point with the fingers, and if you could point with the toes of your fingers, you will point it out evil. Others, you are very good. Priests are very bad. But who do you follow? Priest or Christ? Has Christ disappointed you? Did Christ do something wrong to you? Did he do something you didn't like? Did he commit a sin? Did Christ on the cross, who dies forgiving his enemies, has disappointed you? What did you want? That he could ask for bloody revenge. The Christ who takes pity on that lady who lost her only son, or who gives a gift to the word, the gift of hearing to this sick man. We have seen today in the gospel, Jesus Christ disappointed you? Do you follow them, priest or Christ? On the other hand, the opposite is also truth. It also happens, that is to say, there are people who don't ask the priest for teachings, for correct teachings, but ask for a priest for just the opposite. They said, what a nice priest, because he does liturgical as he please. Or, what a human priest, they said. And why? Because he tells you that what you're doing wrong is not wrong. He's very human priest. They said, first, we have to follow Jesus Christ. That is what we must never forget. Christ is the greater patrimony of the church. Christ is our shepherd, our guide. It's Christ who has split his blood to redeem us. I don't believe that it will ever happen, but if it should ever happen, that in the church the doctrine of Christ is not taught, Christ first, we have to follow Christ. We must never forget this, and we, therefore, to ask our pastor to teach the doctrine of Christ, not that they be very human, I wish they were, and very nice, I wish they were, but what we want is them to teach the doctrine of Christ, and that they also follow the way of Christ, and that they also follow Jesus Christ, trying to practice his doctrine. Otherwise, we make out of the church a club or a political party, an association where truth is no longer important, but popularity is important. It is popular because it says what we like to hear, what is politically correct. It is Christ who did everything right. Only He and the Virgin Mary, our Immaculate Mother. It is Jesus Christ whom we follow. He has not deceived us. He has not deceived us. And we are in the church because the church is the mystical body of Christ, whose head is Christ. We are in the church because in this church beats one heart, the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. That is why we are in the church. We follow Christ. This one disappoints us, that one has committed a sin or even a crime. Well, it is possible, but who do I follow? Jesus Christ. What a pity that this person has done this, but I follow Jesus Christ. And on the other hand, each one of us has his own fault, and it will be good for all of us to listen to those words of the Lord and stop looking at the speck in your brother's eyes, to look at the beam that each one of us has in our own eye. So be it.